First off, do you need these fitness accessories? No, you don't. But can they be beneficial? Yes. Now, I want to break down 3 pieces of fitness gear or accessories, whatever you want to call them, that I think are going to be beneficial for pretty much every lifter. As we go through the video, I'll explain some of the benefits from these accessories and even some of the limitations for certain pieces, when you'd want to use them and when you wouldn't. If you guys do enjoy this video, consider hitting that like button, consider subscribing to the channel. I do have some affiliate links down below. They don't cost you any more, but it does send a small percentage back to me so I can create more content like this. Without further ado, let's head over to the gym. First up on this list, we have wrist straps, and the straps are super common. They allow you to overload pulling movements. When doing pulling movements, our forearms can be what limits how much we can lift. These straps, when wrapped around the bar, like what you can see here, can aid in how much we can actually lift, which allows us to add more fatigue and more strain to the desired muscle, which in this situation is our back. These can be really helpful for things like rows, pull downs, and deadlifts. And it really does make it easier to target the desired muscle. Now, like all of these accessories, you don't want to become too reliant on them. And if you use your straps quite a bit, it might be a pretty good idea to mix in some additional isolation work for the forearms and wrists. And this leads us into our next accessory, wrist wraps. That's right, wraps, not straps. Wrist wraps are kind of the opposite. Instead of used in pulling movements, they're used for pressing movements. These create a more rigid and stiff wrist, which limits any unwanted wrist extension. Wrist extension here happens a lot, and you see it in a lot of beginners. It adds unwanted strain on the wrist and limits strength. Not ideal. You want the bar and the weight stacked over top of your wrist like this. Adding these won't make you stronger, but it'll stop that extension from happening and improve your reps rather quickly. These are some of my favorite accessories, although I have to say that they're probably the least important of these 3. I personally love them because I had a hand injury years ago, and this just kind of helped me feel a little bit more stable when going back under the bench press. But moving on. Lastly, here we have lifting belts. These are super common everywhere you go. This increases our rigidity around our midsection. This essentially acts like an aid, and it's most commonly used in things like squats and deadlifts. Now, I definitely recommend a belt for heavy lifting. Being more stable with heavy lifts increases our safety. But just like all these other accessories, we shouldn't become too reliant on them for every single set. That can take away from our actual core development. I always struggled with bracing my core when doing squats. Having the belt loosely around my midsection allowed me to practice engaging my core against something. I found this really beneficial, so if you struggle with core activation during a squat, that might be a trick that you can use. I hope you guys found some value. If you have questions, drop them in the comments. Consider subscribing if you did like this video, and YouTube recommends this video right here for you of my content. So, yep, here it is, somewhere over here. So we'll see you guys next time. Have a good day.